Hey guys, welcome to Clueless Insanity. We have had a great IPL league stages, and also before the IPL league stage, we had a great discussion in our panel itself. And probably that is the reason why the Rain Gods also decided not to interrupt much and allow us to have a full fledged game to decide who will be the fourth team. And today on the panel, we have the familiar face of Vishal, Karthik, Pramod, and of course the face is not visible of Dinesh, but he'll be talking to us whenever he can since he's traveling. So guys, all excited for the playoffs? Vishal, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm super excited. The playoffs and the last week has been insane, to be honest. As a neutral, watching CSK RCB, it was very tight, super intense finish, and RCB prevailed. And hats off to RCB from where they were at the beginning of May. One win in 8 games to make the playoffs. I know a few results had to go their way, but credit to them. And now they look like one of the form teams heading to the playoffs. And the beauty of the playoffs is even though the top two get two bites at the cherry, it's anything can happen on any given day. So it's quite exciting, and hopefully we have a cracker of the playoff cracker in of all of the games in the playoffs, and may the best team win the tournament.
So for the viewers, just before we proceed, is the panel here? It's like quite what do you say? Some interesting fact. Basically, Vishal is like having one leg in Chennai and another in Bangalore. Karthik one in Vizag, one in Bangalore. Pramod one in US. I don't know where he stays. So because in US he's again having too many legs, and again one in Bangalore. Dinesh one in Chittor, one in Bangalore. So these guys are playing around. Okay, so Karthik, that comes my next question. Too many chop and changes, does that affect a team? So right now, what is going to happen with lot of foreigners heading back? Does the teams which are qualified to play off, will it affect them?
So yes, I would say definitely it will be affected. Too many chop and changes. The live example which I can give is the CSK itself. So it was having too many chops and changes, no proper batting order. Okay, it's like a random batting order is being executed. So that's where CSK lost its momentum. So basically, as you asked this question, so this is a live example which I can tell you. Yeah, but I would say even the RCB would lack the performances of Will Jacks and KKR. Obviously, Salt's performance. So yeah, so these and of course for Rajasthan, the absence of Butler, so these things are there, so which would affect teams. For SRH, yes, everyone are paying like playing currently. So hopefully, apart from them, all the other teams are being affected some or other way.
Right, that's a fair point, especially when you have found the right combination and when you go to playoff and you miss out on a big player. Pramod, well, being an RCB fan, you would want to talk about the previous game, but apart from that, the RR game, we know RR were one of the teams to beat in the first stage, but slowly they've lost their way. But is it a concerning factor for them and also a concerning factor for RCB because they would want to prove themselves in the playoff, right? And it would be a tough game for RCB.
Like obviously, Karthik said one sigh of relief is that Josh Butler is not going to be in the lineup. He's a true match winner. He can take the game away from you. But having said that, like if you see RR's performance in the initial stages, it was not entirely dependent on Butler. In fact, Butler got to form only against RCB. After that, he started scoring a little better. So I would still say that RR is a really good team. All they need to do is like play good on that day, and it's going to be really tough to beat them if they do. RCB needs to stay on ground, play the way they have, and I think that's how they can top RR.
Good point there. And Dinesh, did you get to see the last game? What did you think about RCB's performance against CSK?
Top class. That is the only words I would use. I mean, talk about batting, talk about bowling. Of course, the bowlers gave some runs, but they were able to restrict the CSK team in the last 4-5 overs, which is very good to see and pretty unexpected performance. And I was made to eat a humble pie because I predicted the CSK win for the IPL trophy itself. But so the best team prevailed. And if you see that match, be it the batting, bowling, or the fielding, for example, Faf's catch. So this is what the champion team is made of: coordination in all the three departments, proper campaign, captaining, uh, knowing when to bowl, to whom to bowl, and on what pitch, which bowler to bowl. We start off with Maxi in the first over, which is kind of people would have thought, whoa, spinner, that too against CSK, and he picks a wicket in the first ball. So that's something where as the last call or the last meet, what Amog said, miracles do happen. I mean, and if that happens, you know that they are heading that way, and that commitment is shown from the RCB side. Winning all the games from and being from the 10th place and coming to the playoff is itself a big thing. And yeah, looking forward to seeing how RCB plays.
Yeah. Karthik, I would again post a generic question to you. The top four teams, who do you think is like completely balanced? We know KKR has done well. They've reached top of the table. SRH, they've changed the dimension of cricket, right? I guess this season it is SRH's batting which has been the highlight, and then RCB six on a row. Of course, RR is something they've not found the right way in uh, last few games. But who do you think is having the complete team, and who do you think can go all the way?
I would say SRH is a complete team as of now, what I can see, because the every other team which has qualified for playoffs has some or other changes by their side. And coming to the way that KKR has performed, I guess it can be the champion of this respective tournament. Is my opinion, Karan. But I feel RCB should win. I would say heart says RCB and mind says KKR, of course.
But you have taken all three names except RR there.
No,
Yeah.
KKR is the balance side. So I was been answering every question in every other aspect. So
Okay, talking of KKR, we'll head back to the KKR fan now. Vishal, uh, Shreyas Iyer might not have had a great season, okay, but he becomes the only KKR captain to finish at top. Uh, is it something which you would want to take it forward and prove everyone wrong and get some big scores in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think there are a couple of things at your question. The first thing is Shreyas Iyer's captaincy, right? So he's the only captain who has taken Delhi to the IPL final, and he's the second captain after Gambhir to take KKR to the playoffs in the second season, right? This is the second season he's captaining KKR. And I think Dinesh Karthik also did it in his first season, but we finished first under Shreyas Iyer. So that says that he is a good captain. There's something about him in the captaincy material that we keep talking about, and the way he's led the side, it's been fresh. Me being a KKR fan, the changes that he's made with the bowling, and we've been flexible with our batting lineup as well. So there's a lot of talk saying Phil Salt is going to be a huge miss. I completely agree, it's going to be a huge miss, but we have been very flexible with our batting. And if you see in the second half of the tournament, it's actually been our bowling which has won most of the games. After the end of the 12th game, we had all our five bowlers in the top 20 of the purple cap, right, race. And I'm talking about 12 games because our last 2 games have been washed out. We haven't played since what 10th or in the last 10 days or something. So it's been a bowling which has won the games. Yes, Phil Salt and Narain started the season really well, but Phil Salt sort of faded off in the away games, and Narain continued his form. He'll still be a big miss for us, but it's the bowling which is held the forte for us, and that's helped us qualify to the first position. And with Shreyas Iyer, we need some runs from him, but hopefully he does score a few runs in the playoffs. But his captaincy has been amazing, in my opinion, in this tournament so far.
So you spoke about Salt. So do you think Gurbraz will be the replacement for him?
Well, I actually had two options because the way I look at the team, I thought maybe we could use KS Bharat as an impact sub. I'll tell you why I wanted to do that, because without the use of impact sub, we have 7 bowlers in our team. We have so many all-rounders that we can use impact sub however we want to. Right? There was this game where Manish Pandey came in as an impact sub against Mumbai Indians, and we won that match because we already have quality 6 bowlers in our lineup without the impact sub. So what I was thinking is maybe as sort of a new way of using the impact serve, get in KS Bharat only for keeping, and use Sherfane Rutherford as an extra power hitter at the end, because he's been in good form for the last 6-7 months. But what I saw in the lineup that was put up just before the Rajasthan game got called off, Gurbaz was named in the lineup. So I think that's how they're going to go. Straight swap, which I completely understand. You don't want to tinker too much. So heading into the playoffs, I think Gurbaz is going to come in instead of Phil Salt.
Yes. Okay. Coming back to the other teams in playoffs, Pramod, facing RR, we spoke about that. But down the line, if RCB has to reach the finals, they'd be meeting all 3 teams, right? And of all 3 teams, who do you think will be the toughest? Of course, finals, if they reach finals, the final pressure is something totally different. But apart from that, who do you think will be the toughest team?
Well, first, let's start off with RR. Like, hoping that we'll win that game, and the next 2 games could be against either SRH or KKR. Both teams, like Vishal and Karthik and Dinesh said, they are like quite balanced. So what we need to do is continue what we did in the last 6-7 games, where we attacked in the power play and uh, keep fielding well, bowling decently. I know that both KKR and SRH are in amazing form, but I have a feeling that this RCB team could be a little difficult to beat for even both KKR and SRH. In terms of difficulty, I feel that SRH is going to be a little more difficult than KKR, but I also feel that KKR is going to reach the finals tomorrow.
Oh.
So it's going to be tough, but we need to be on top of our game.
So that was in my last segment to ask who will be the finalist. I already know your answer there. Dinesh, we'll slightly move away from IPL, and I want to ask a question regarding the playoffs. Is it something which can be introduced at World T20 stage or World Cups also? Because the first and second will obviously get another chance to reach finals, right?
I actually have 2 opinions on this. One yes and one no. Yes, why it should be introduced? Because it gives that opportunity. I mean, talk about India or Australia in both the World Cups. We've come to the semi-finals, being the table toppers, then you lose the game just because of something. It's kind of doesn't serve the purpose. I mean, like, you have a very good team, just losing out, coming to the semi-finals, losing out. So definitely yes for that. They should think about bringing these playoffs in general cricket. No, why is because it kills the very spirit of cricket. Cricket is, as much as it's a gentleman's game, it is a competitive sport. You have 11 players giving out everything in that 4 hours if it's an ODI, or that entire 5 days if it's a test. And forget test, at least T20, 4 hours here and there, in 8 hours if it's an ODI. It kills that very spirit of the game. So that side, I would say no. But being an Indian fan, where you see your team lose out on 2 semifinals, so I would say yes on that side. It would be really nice if they bring it, but again, heart again says no. It kills the very spirit of the game.
Yeah. Uh,
Just the one thing to add here, just because Dinesh brought up the World Cup final, where everyone knows Australia beat India. Just imagine if Pat Cummins wins this IPL, what he has done in the last 12 months as captain. He's won the Test Championship, retained the Ashes, won the World Cup, then the IPL. You're almost talking him being in Dhoni territory, what he did back in 2009, 10, 11. That's amazing, and I think he's the best. If he does win the IPL, I think he's one of the best leaders going around, taking a SRH team which finished almost last, I think, last year to first with the same quality in the squad. That's something. I think he's one of the big finds in this tournament. We already knew he's a great leader, won the World Cup, but winning the IPL as well with different dynamics, local Indian players say something else about his leadership skills.
Absolutely. And also with the T20 World Cup just around the corner. I'm not sure
But he's
if
not the captain.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
not the
No, for
captain.
T20,
Mitchell
he is
Marsh
not the
is the
captain.
captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitchell Marsh is the captain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we won't be interesting. Yeah.
Yes. This is an open question, if anyone could take. If there is some other rule from, let's say, BBL or IPL or from the leagues around the globe that should be introduced in world, at least I'm talking of T20 cricket only. If there is some rule, for example, the impact uh, player rule in IPL, or uh, the flipping of coin in BBL, which like that. So of course I know these are more into broadcaster specific, but do you think if there's a choice or if there's a chance to change something or get something to world cricket, which rule that would be? Anyone can go for this.
Maybe yeah, I'll go first here. So specific to IPL, I even though this year has been great with the volume of runs that's been scored, I felt that the local flavor was missing to a certain extent. For example, what I mean by this is the track in Chennai usually spins. In Kolkata, it's changed a bit, but you know how a Kolkata track is, how it played during the World Cup, right? So I think we need conditions that are useful for the home team. For example, if you ask me, I'm a KKR fan. We have one of the best spin attacks. Hardly the first 3-4 games it spun at the Eden Gardens, right? So luckily we did well this year. So what I'm trying to say is we need to make sure that we have surfaces for the home team's advantage and the toss, right? I don't know whether how it will be moving forward, but it should be the opposition team or the away team who comes in and decides what they want to do, so that you negate the advantage of the home conditions, even in T20 cricket, because T20 cricket is going to an extent where you know it's the volume of runs that's been scored this year. It's been staggering, right? You need to bring in fair competition between bat and ball, and this might be one of the ways, according to me. But let's see. So yeah, the toss and local conditions is something that I want to be changed, and make sure that the services help the home team more.
Talking of toss, the BCCI has decided for the under 23 leagues, they'll be giving the option for the visiting team to choose, which is going to be implemented from this year. Anyone else with any other points?
I have two things. So one is actually regarding the players itself. Like ha we have seen that how many runs have been scored this IPL. So I had a thought where like maybe only if the field has a lot of dew, they should give the bowling team an option to change the ball at least once, like how we have the uh, break, like batting power play and the bowling power play. whenever during the game, once if they can change the ball for the bowlers to grip better, I think that would also bring the bowler skill set into play instead of like just the batters hitting the ball out of park. Uh, I think it just makes the game a little more fair. And the second one is like totally different idea. Like in the last call, we were talking about what kind of technologies we can bring to the game, like in terms of umpiring, should the umpires be eliminated and things like that. With that perspective, I think that we can bring something like a VAR, which is used in the football world, where they already do it for no ball, right? Like the third umpire already sees it and declares it a no ball. I think they can also do this for some of the other decisions. Instead of giving the third umpire the choice to give if it's an out or not, bring in the on-field umpire, make it more human because they're the ones who are deciding. Give them all the evidences and let the on-field umpires decide the decisions instead of the third umpire. Maybe this will take more time, considering that they have to bring in all the replays and the umpire has to go see those replays and things like that. But uh, one perspective I wanted to add is that I don't want the umpires to go away. We still need a human element. It's not a game of robots or AI or whatever. So yeah, those are the two things I wanted to bring in to discussion.
Nice. So the umpire will be wearing a VR, and before the if there's a lag, he'll get hit before the ball is
Yeah, not
fun. Yes,
necessarily a VR,
it's
but
fun.
yeah.
Oh,
I have one more point. So basically, this is not my, I would say, personal this thing. Deepak Chahar and as well as even the Shardul Thakur has said uh, regarding the bowling, like they spoke regarding the ball. Okay, so they have all like if a ball is being lost, so they have almost, I would say, six options to change that respective ball as of now. Okay, and that should be increased to maybe 10 or 12 so that a bowler can choose a perfect ball rather than being confined to only the old balls which is already being used. So this is one thing which I felt that he has a point with him. And currently, like, penalizing the captain for slow over rate, and I would say the only four fielders outside 30-yard circle is a bit bothering for me, because at the 19th over only there is a high chances of leaking runs. So already the bowler will be under high pressure. So if only four fielders are being placed outside 30-yard circle, it would be really difficult for him to defend those respective runs. So which may bring down the bowler's moral itself at some or other point of time, is what I feel personally. Like, as we have seen the Yash Dayal's moral, which has completely came down when he gave almost five sixes against Rinku Singh. So it was so difficult for him to take that respective shot. So this is what I feel. That's it. Nothing much, nothing less. So the time which they are being, the time which batsman is taking to take the guard or adjust himself should be eradicated from the overall time. Like, when you consider slow over rate, okay. Like, if you are completely relying upon that.
I
Uh,
guess
so so
I I guess those things are being tracked. You cannot just the batsman taking time. There are other things which are getting tracked as well. So based on that, if you see when a game starts at 7:30, due to all other factors, let's say there's a concussion test, those time is not factored in. So apart from that, whatever overrate the bowling team is take, maintaining, they are penalized based on that. So the overall thing, of course, it's a team game, right? In the end, you'll have to choose one person, and of course, the leader of the team will be penalized. So I still think that is fair there. They'll have to keep a track on it, and if you go to stadium, you'll get to see what is the time remaining right? So they are being tracked after every over, right? So if they give more importance to it, I guess these things can be avoided. It's not necessary every team is missing out on this, right? That means there is some lag, there is something which they're not doing right. So yeah, but again, what you said is a fair point. Um Something they can come up with some other mechanism to making it more robust. Okay, so we'll head to the last section. It is basically who will be the finalist. You have the two teams already. I mean, four teams with you already. I just want you to name the finalist and who will be lifting the trophy. We asked the same last time. We had different answers. Now you have a clear-cut options because there are only four teams, and you know most likely it is KKR or SRH who will be the finalist. So go for it, guys. I will start with Karthik.
Yeah, I have already told while telling like it would be KKR and RCB, and hopefully like KKR will win the season.
Okay. Dinesh?
No comments. Exact opposite result will come, but I'll still say that KKR and RCB.
Okay.
Heart says RCB.
Pramod? You already gave it away, but yeah, still go for it.
Yes. So it's going to be the same answer as Dinesh. It's going to be KKR versus RCB, and RCB is going to win convincingly.
Oh, convincingly. Okay.
All
Vishal?
the three matches.
Okay.
Well, I'm a KKR fan, so
KKR again.
I actually, even though I'm a KKR fan, I'm not sure how KKR is going to turn up. They haven't played the last 10 days, and in my opinion, both RR and KKR are not in the best pace heading to the playoffs. RR not winning games, and KKR not playing any game. So RCB and SRH look like the teams which are peaking at the right time with respect to form. KKR, they couldn't do anything, two washouts. I think it might be a rematch of the 2016 final. I don't know. I obviously want KKR to win, but it's I just feel it might be the rematch, and this time the result might be a little different. So let's see.
Yeah. I'm hoping for the same, but looking at the previous records from 2020, RCB has qualified for the fourth time in 5 years, and every time they've not moved past the playoff stage. If they do that, I guess there's no stopping them, and they might be lifting the first trophy.
Yeah, I'll tell you one similarity between 2016. RCB qualified second, SRH qualified fourth. They had to win 3 games. RCB won the
First game.
qualifier one, went to the finals. SRH had to win 2 games and beat RCB. Here, this time, it might be the other way around, right? So everything seems to be falling in place. Let's see. And I'm a KKR fan talking about it. So you know what RCB has done to this tournament. So yeah.
Correct. And also SRH, they've been brilliant with their
Yeah.
unbelievable scores, right? Yeah.
They've been amazing. Yeah, yeah. And
If RCB was not in, I would definitely back SRH to lift the trophy.
Okay. Interesting. Cool, guys. It was, yeah, you had a point to say?
no, I was about to say there's no draw in cricket, unfortunately, like in football. So yeah,
Yeah.
it should be a winner. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Even, in fact, the World Test Championship doesn't have a draw concept, right? So we're playing a
Yeah, that's
finals
true.
there. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, interesting talk. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. We'll probably try to come again after qualifier one or maybe after eliminator one. We'll see how things pan out. But for now, thank you and signing off.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.